Restaurant Punk. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Nico, Leah, what's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
You good?
Yeah, another day in paradise.
What do you got?
You look good.
What are we doing?
Thanks.
Did you get a haircut just recently?
No, I just kind of, because the hair, I don't know where to go with it. So I just kind of go back, side, whatever. And I just play, but it's getting like longer.
It looks good.
So yeah, don't with me.
It looks
It does
good.
look nice.
It looks good. So I was watching another episode that we did, and we touched a subject on, we segued into the very end. Food, atmosphere, service. Put them in order. And I know for a fact that you pick atmosphere first and then service and then food.
Atmosphere, service, food. Yes,
Which
correct.
I totally disagree with.
Well, okay.
Food should always be first, in my opinion.
Leah,
Strongly agree.
with what?
Food should be first.
You know, this is going to be my favorite episode. I
know.
can tell already because you know
Absolutely,
what?
100%.
I love confrontation. And I could take you two down on this. But then
you wish
again, there's no right or wrong answer. So again,
There
to
is.
anybody watching or listening, please share. Tell me what you think. Because what's more important, atmosphere, service, or food? There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, there is. Food.
No,
You don't open up a restaurant and not have food. Food is your main focal point. You come in for food.
what's the last bad meal that you've ever had?
Oh, there's plenty. I can go down a list if you like.
Go ahead.
Ask me if I've ever been there again afterwards, after giving them at least 2 tries. Sometimes
Why?
3,
Because
depending.
it was so bad? The food was so
horrible.
bad?
It
You
was
don't
so
go
bad.
back.
We don't want to name the restaurants.
Of course.
We want to name the item that you ordered. Can you remember what it is? Because I think you're both full of shit.
No.
Come on.
It's anything that you went to a restaurant for and you ordered and you're like, this is not good. You try it again. It's like, you know what? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you wouldn't eat it. It's either bland, it has no taste, or it tasted way off. And you're like, what is this shit?
Oh,
No.
I
You're
can-
not going to go back for the, I'm sorry, you're not going to go back for the atmosphere unless the atmosphere is nice and the food's mediocre. But if the food's not number one, you're not going to a restaurant to begin with. So yeah,
Agreed.
take that.
I mean, we recently went to a really well-known, famous chef's restaurant. It's brand new.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
You guys ate there for a bachelor
I know what you're
party.
talking about. Uh-huh.
We had a terrible meal. It cost us $1,300 for
Well-
us to eat, which was fine because it was
Terrible.
okay. All the people that had the soup got sick.
That's come on.
All the people
Oh.
that had the soup got sick, like literally throwing up.
Do you remember? Can you tell me what the soup was? What
It
kind
was a
of soup?
cream-based soup. I did not have it. So I did not get sick.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The one thing I had that I loved, we went back because we ended up talking to somebody in passing that was a manager there. And they were like, was it the best meal you ever had? And we were like, oh, honestly, not really. He was so embarrassed that he invited us back, comped the whole meal. We ordered everything all over again. The one thing that I loved was a lobster risotto.
I'm sorry.
Second time I had it,
Did they take care of it?
they took care of it this time. Yeah. But brought us in, invited us in because we know everybody. We work in restaurants. We have restaurants. Come back. Let us make it right. The lobster risotto, which I loved the first go around, the second time was not as good. I'm like, well, then there's consistency on top of it. So yeah, I mean, we've had bad meals. There's another local place in Summers Point that is super well known, line out the door. Every time I eat there, I say, I hate this place. It's nursing home food, but they still do a crazy business
Why?
because it's like the only nice restaurant at a shore town. So people go there because it's a nice place, but the food is trash.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, the only people eating there are the old people. I'm just saying, you see people line up outside of a shack for barbecue for hours, waiting for them to
Yeah.
open because the food is so good. They serve it to you on a piece of brown paper. You sit outside with a piece of bread, and sweating in the sun,
Yeah.
but you go over and over again because the food is so f***ing good. The atmosphere is terrible.
Can't you guys see though? It's all about the experience.
That's the experience.
It's the experience.
It
Do
doesn't
you
mean
look at a
atmosphere.
menu? Do you look at a menu before you walk into a restaurant?
Yes.
Sometimes.
I do not.
Not always.
Never, because I want to swallow the experience whole.
Oh.
The experience
Because
whole.
it's not. Yeah, it's not just about the food. It's not just
You're
about the food.
going to eat, which is food related.
Are we really just going to eat because we're hungry? And I think we're there's different kinds of experiences, right? We're going out for a nice dinner on a Saturday night, and there's like, you know what? I have my half-hour lunch break. So we're differentiating. We're focusing on Saturday night dinners, correct? More of an occasional thing.
And you could put them both
More
in the same
upscale
category.
casual. I see. That's where if it's lunch and if it's a half-hour break and I don't like the food, you know what? Because I'm hungry and I need a break.
Not
Yeah,
going
it should be pretty good. The food needs to be good. It's about the food. But let's use White House subs in Atlantic City, for example. Is their food good?
So good.
Right?
Yeah.
And there are pictures of celebrities all over the place, and it's been there for forever, and they haven't changed the sign ever, and the inside, they've never updated it, but it's all about the experience.
But that's
Because
why
of the
the
food.
celebrities go there, because of the food.
Because of the food.
They're out the door waiting for a sandwich when you can get a sandwich literally anywhere because it's so good. That's why it's been open for so many years.
Go ahead, say something.
I could say so much right now.
Bring it
There's a
out.
takeout only place
we
in
don't-
Ocean City that just closed down after almost 100 years because the family is tired of running it. But I'm already sad that in the summer I will not be getting a lasagna from there. Like it's
You're
the
gonna-
food.
It's not the food.
Go ahead,
This is
sell
where-
me on
This
it.
is where I need like Liz to like interpret what I'm trying to say, or Peter to interpret exactly what
No,
I'm trying
you
to get
make it
across.
plain. We don't need you to interpret. We need you to tell us why atmosphere trumps food.
Well, take that same food, right, and put it in another restaurant that's completely empty, right? And you go in there, it doesn't taste the same. You and I make a dish. Don't let me finish. Don't interrupt me.
Oh, go ahead.
is
By all
that-
means.
yeah,
No,
is that
please,
all right?
please, by all means.
Would you agree that you and I, with the same equipment, same ingredients, same everything, cook the same thing, exactly the same? Do you think it's gonna taste the same? The food.
No.
The food. And you know what? You're going to try yours, and then you're going to try mine. You're going to say it tastes better. Why? Because it always tastes better when somebody else makes it for you. I think you guys
Not
are
true.
I
What
think
are
you
you-
guys.
are you a
I think you
crack?
guys are just picky eaters.
Do you need a mental health day or something? You're way off.
You're gluten free, first of all, and
Yeah.
you're the worst to go out to eat with.
100%.
I'm
Leah,
gluten sensitive, but I eat.
Leah,
I don't eat gluten.
are you
but I
high
eat.
maintenance?
Absolutely not. As long as there's a glass of tequila in front of me, I'm usually okay.
So
But-
let's get back to atmosphere. Does
The-
that glass of tequila and a full house and a full bar and the energy, does it make food taste better?
Well, I mean, yeah, if we're in a bar and we're out socializing, because I'm going to a busy bar because I want to socialize. I could get the same Bud Light in an empty nothing bar for $1, but there's nobody there, so I'm not having fun. Food, on the other hand, I will sit in the rain and eat something under an awning that has been
Example, what's your favorite place? Let's go.
Valentina's in Northfield.
You've mentioned that
Locally.
place before.
And while I'm on Valentina's, I probably shouldn't tell everybody's business, but they have a family member who has a restaurant in Atlantic City, that same chef at one point. The food is equally amazing. The ambiance is totally different, but they're both beautiful. But one has slower service than the other. So if we're going atmosphere, food, service is also super important, because I purposely started going to this other one because we got a better experience from our server. They're European, so they're relaxed. Everything's cool.
Goddamn right
And if
they
I'm
are,
not
that's right.
starving, I'll sit at this other one and eat because I love their food. I love their brick oven pizza. But my other one, Valentina's, is my spot because the gnocchi sorrentina is perfect every time. My branzino that's filleted tableside is perfect every time. Even the chocolate souffle that they sometimes have to pull out of the freezer for me because they know I'm coming to get it is perfect every time. And the food is delicious and consistent, and the atmosphere and the service. But
Leah,
the food, I would eat it on my couch. I would eat it on your couch.
you just
I don't need atmosphere.
you just answered your own question. I'm sorry, you know the owners?
Mhm.
Did you say they know you there?
Mhm.
And maybe they do a little extra because they know that you're
They know
coming
me
by
at-
to eat.
They know me at both places.
That means you feel special when you go there, as opposed to being ignored, and that's why you love that
They
place so
didn't
much.
always know me.
And
And when
that's
I
why-
would first go,
Mhm.
I got regular service, regular treatment, but
So
the food was always
Let
consistent.
me say this. So you went to a place for the first time. You tried their food. It was phenomenal. You kept
Phenomenal.
kept going back. And then the service was really good because you were there. So now it's food, service, and the atmosphere is okay, whether you like it or not. How can you have an amazing atmosphere, like you're saying, a full house, without the food getting it to be a full house?
You know, and
Mhm.
again, when we talk about atmosphere, we talk about the front door. We talk about the facade. We talk about the music that's playing. We talk about all the little intangibles that come together. It's not just, oh, this place is busy. That's atmosphere. That does help the energy in the room.
Sure, 100%.
There's such a thing as the speed of the room. So when I go to the best restaurant in Philly, however many years ago, we'll say the name, Georges Perrier, Lebec Fin, you know, it's such a cold place.
Mhm.
But, you know, there it's all about the food. And for me, it just took away from it because it was like a morgue and it just felt stiff. And the service was stiff and the room was stiff. I know I'm supposed to appreciate it as a Michelin-starred restaurant because, yes, it's all about the food. But when we talk about Michelin-starred restaurants, do they just come in, taste the food, and market on that? No. It's based on everything as a whole. So how do you judge a facade? How do you judge a dining room when you walk in? How do you judge the speed of service? How do you judge your server? Do you like your server? Are you grossed out because he has hair on his ears? There's so many. You guys are just talking about the food. How do you not see it that it's not just about the food? I went to McDonald's and got 3 sausage McMuffins with 3 hash browns. I put each hash brown into each sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, and I just ate them. And I
sounds delicious.
Oh my
You
God.
went there for the food.
What's that?
You went there for the food.
No, I went to, you know which McDonald's I'm talking about. Why? Because
Convenience.
it's so fast.
Yeah.
You see the
So
kitchen.
that's service again,
What's
which is
that?
on top
So
of
now that's
atmosphere.
service.
Doesn't have much atmosphere, does it? So
Really?
when we're talking about an experience as
Really?
a whole,
McDonald's.
100% experience as a whole. When we're ranking them in order, it should be food, service, atmosphere.
So I think basically you're saying is you'll go somewhere for the food.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
The service and the atmosphere are just accoutrements. Like,
No. We're putting them in
Or
order.
just-
We're putting them in order. I'm not saying that.
well, you're saying the food is the most important thing.
I think they're all
It has
super
to be.
important. but
I'm
if you
dying to
have
hear what everybody's got to say.
it
about
has
this.
to be, because you're not going to have a restaurant if it doesn't have food. It's not a restaurant anymore, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
They're not going to come
You're
back
going
if they're
to
not.
eat. You're going, whether it's for any kind of party or special event, a date night, because you're hungry, you're going for the food. And if you really love the food, you're thinking about the food like, oh, I can go for this again. Or I'm thinking about this. Let's go next Tuesday. You're going to go because of the food. Okay.
I actually think that's pathetic.
Why is it pathetic?
Because
Why are we
you're-
restaurateurs then if it's pathetic?
Yeah, because all
You're
saying,
making no
all you're
sense.
saying is I'm hungry and I want to go to this place and eat. You're not appreciating the art.
Oh my God.
You're not appreciating
You're going to a
anything.
different
But then
level
so-
now.
You guys have a lot to learn.
You're
But I'm
going
not saying
to a different
atmosphere-
level.
Think about the art of it. Think about everything that it takes. And all you're saying is, well, I'm hungry and I like the food.
But
What are
Yianni,
we even talking about
we're
here?
The
talking about-
atmosphere. Go ahead.
No,
Come on,
la-
raise your
ladies
voices. Let's
first.
get into this shit.
The
Ladies first.
atmosphere isn't not important. Like, it is super important. When you walk up to a food truck late night after partying, you know there's going to be banging food, and you are going to have this experience of sitting at a picnic table with all the crazies outside hanging, and you're like, oh, this was fun. That experience does add to the food. Doesn't mean I wouldn't drive through a drive-through tomorrow and get the same food because it's calling me. The craving, the mouth watering, that's food. It makes everybody happier. So obviously the food is what's going to build your business and make people come back for you. If I come to the shore every summer, I'm going to Smitty's Clam Bar every summer to get clam chowder. There's no atmosphere. It's outside.
Shout out.
It's hot as hell too. Like when you're sitting there, you're sweating and you're waiting for a long time. But that clam chowder, I've been eating it since I was a little kid, and I cannot picture summer without it. So food, taste, memories, it all. But I mean, I've been to a bunch of gorgeous restaurants all over the world and the country. And I'm never going to go back to one that I felt was so beautiful and we loved sitting there. If the food isn't good, I'll go for a drink. I'll go for a dessert and a coffee.
Of course
But
you
I'm
will.
not going to go out to dinner there again and spend my hard-earned money on food that's not satisfying what I came for.
So that's
Ever.
just the most important thing to you.
Food, service, atmosphere.
Get food, feel full, and just you're good.
Enjoy my conversations. But we have so many choices. We can go literally anywhere to eat with our friends. So the experience can happen anywhere. But if we want to eat, we're never going back to that famous chef's restaurant again. And we tried it twice. And we had a great time. But the food was terrible. So next time we'll try another restaurant.
And you don't think the price had anything to do with that?
No, because I went out to dinner last night at Vic and Anthony's, and on just myself, I spent $210. And that was
It's nice.
Just me?
You're
Good for
eating
you.
at nicer restaurants than I am, because if you've been to this place twice that you speak of, and
the
you were
one
at
they
Vic and
comped it.
Anthony's, well,
they comped it because they wanted us to come back because they wanted a good review. And they
it
didn't
always
get it.
it always tastes
Also
better
good
when it's
service.
comped, but they want
But it tasted worse.
what's up?
It tasted worse when I went back. This lobster risotto that I loved the first time was not good the second time. I was
And
really
you don't,
upset
and you don't
about it
think
because
you're
I've
ever
been.
going to go back there?
No, the most I'll do is sit at the bar and have a drink and a nap.
I think you'll go back.
I'll go back for that only at the bar because I'm going to have a business in that same building. So I'm going to have to pass it. And there's not a lot of choices.
Exactly. So you'll go. You'll have a nap. You might
But I
get
have
hungry while you're
tons of
having a
choices
drink.
everywhere else. So food
Yeah, but
is what's going to make
What she's
me
trying
go
to
out.
say is that she's not going to put in her list of choices to want to go to, not if you're forced to go to or for whatever other reason.
Somebody's retirement.
When you're
I'll go.
when you have a good restaurant, you're a good restaurateur, and you're doing this amazing thing, especially the food, you're going to go back for the food.
So you don't think Vintage's atmosphere is the most important?
Oh, I love your atmosphere. But
You
the
goddamn
food is
right.
delicious.
Yeah, it's all right. So
I thought it was.
how about with you? Did people come back for your food?
Yes. I got a lot of complaints from when we had our previous cook.
Mm-hmm.
But once my partner and I started cooking, people came in all the time. Like, I had the best cheesesteak last night when you were cooking. I had the best.
Leah,
they also didn't have a lot of choices.
They came back for you. They came back for you.
Which comes under service
They
again.
They come back for Nico.
For the service again.
No,
which
they
is
come
number
back
2.
for the atmosphere, the service, and the food. It's good. It is good. But it's not the end all be all. I'm sorry. And you know what?
If you're opening up a restaurant, Yianni, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. You're totally wrong. If you have a restaurant,
you're totally wrong.
no, you're totally
you should
wrong.
take
If
your
you have a
shirts off and
restaurant
fight.
and you're giving absolute shit food, no one's going to come to your restaurant.
Shit food.
It's
Who the
important.
Why is there Yelp?
who's serving?
Why is there
Yelp?
advisor? For I'm just saying, why is it there? Because people care about was it good?
No
We want to
sponsorship
know.
for you.
No soup for you.
No sponsorship for you, Yelp. God damn it. Make my
I'm
life
just saying, why do
miserable.
people go to it? Because they want to know if the food was good. They want to know what kind of experience people had. If nobody cared, they just wanted to go to the cool place to go, then there would be no point.
You don't think anybody cares about the cool place to go?
No, of course, everybody
The
cares
new
about
restaurant that opened up
They'll
that's hot
go,
right
but
now?
then
They'll
it'll
go.
be closed in 2 years because everybody will be dogging how bad the food was and that we're never going back in this horrible experience. Eventually, it will fizzle and it'll have to be rebranded and called something else because the food was trash.
That's right, goddamn it. That's what the fuck
Why
I'm
are
talking
we
about.
opening
I'm not
restaurants
agreeing
if
with
the
you, but
food
I'm
is
just saying.
trash?
I like the gang signs you're throwing up. I'm all in. Let's go. So what I'm trying to say is that, again, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. Restaurant Punk, we're out. No,